Hello, welcome everyone to another great episode of The Good Word with yours truly, Mr. Frederick. All right, family, let me get right into it today. All right, today we are going to talk about confrontation is not your enemy. It's not a bad thing, family. And I don't mean all the time, but oftentimes it's very necessary. And let me just start by saying, understand, family, a lot of people don't want confrontation. I don't think it's natural to just look for confrontation. That's not a human. um, that's not a human characteristic naturally to just look for confrontation because we are wired to survive. And in the wild, back when we were being created, being developed, we didn't want to just confront animals or unknown tribes, enemies, or possible enemies because we didn't know if we were going to survive that confrontation. So this evolved over time. We are not meant to just naturally do it. However, let's not get it twisted, family. It's very natural and necessary at times. And I say that to more of my easygoing people. I guess you could say happy-go-lucky, just looking for peace in life, okay? Because it's levels to it. But let me just say, family, understand that a relationship of any sorts is not really tested until some confrontation, some disagreement, something happens to where that individual, the two individuals are not on the same page. That's the only way you're going to know if that's someone that you can go anywhere with because it has to be tested. You test the fruits, test the spirit. And that's the truth, family. If you don't test the spirit, you don't know what's going on, who you with, how things are going to go. Some people are just there for the good time. They're just there for when times are good and any sort of confrontation, any sort of disagreement, they're out. You don't want those people in general. I mean, and they'll naturally fall away, natural selection. They'll go away over time. However, it saves you time for not even investing anything in someone like that unless you just like wasting your time. If you like wasting your time, that's fine. But for me, if I'm investing any type of time in you, I want to know that you're someone that's going to be around for a period of time. Or else I really don't see the point in being around you. I mean, some situations, yeah, it's work or it's whatever. It's meant to be temporary. Everything's temporary to an extent. But you get what I'm saying. Quality value relationships, they do stand a little longer the test of the time. And by saying that, family, understand that you have to walk in your power, which is naturally going to test people because they are going to either be intimidated or they're going to be at a point where they have to say, okay, I respect you. But if you never stand in your power, you're like, okay, I could go with that. I could go with that. You too easy going. That person might get the wrong idea and think that you're some sort of pushover. And you're not. You're just easy going. And it's a huge difference between being easy going and being a pushover doormat. So someone who's easy going, you can push them to a point. It's like if it's certain things will trigger them. So if you never touch those things, they might not confront you. But if you touch those things, it's on. So you want to make sure that you don't give people. And let me say this. I'm always the one to say, don't worry about people think about you. I only care about what I think. And that's true in general. But everything is levels, family. At times, you do need to make sure people understand you correctly because it could go bad real fast. And they could get you wrong. And next thing you know, you're in some serious trouble because you had to put them where they belong, in their place. And you don't want that to happen. So that's why you have to walk in your power at all times. Don't be too agreeable with individuals. Make sure that you let your opinion be known. And if it's a confrontation, so be it. Stand on it. And a lot of times, if they're not the right people, they'll go away anyway. They're going to go away anyway, because if that's the only reason they're around is because you aren't confronting them, you aren't disagreeing with anything they say. You don't want that. What is that? So you don't want to be bending and being everybody's little piece of clay. And that can give the impression, if you're too agreeable, that you're that. So that's why the confrontation is not bad. It's an opportunity to learn something. Learn where you stand, learn where the other person stands. And when you have that understanding, Now you can move forward with respect. But understand that if there's no respect, there's distance. And that has to be your attitude. This channel, Mr. Frederick Sprouting Crowns, we're all about uplifting people, walking in their power, being their best self. I can't tell you as a life coach that you are doing that if you are not being authentic and confronting when it needs to happen, and let the chips fall where they may. Forget what you're going to get from the person, because you don't need it that bad. It's not worth sacrificing your dignity, your self-respect. So keep that mindset. You don't want to make it to where you're not checking things where it becomes a bigger problem when you have to check them later and the person do something really egregious and you're like, man, I don't recommend any sort of actions that would jeopardize your freedom. But family, it's not you, it's the other person. How did Rick James in Dave Chappelle's old videos on the Chappelle show, he say Rick James was a habitual, or is it Charlie Murphy? He said Rick James was a habitual line stepper. You got some people out here that are habitual line steppers. They're going to step over the line, step over the line. You give them this, they're going to take that. Everything you give them, they're going to take more. Until it's a point where they might be a crash out dummy. Like they want you to do something just to take you down because they don't care about themselves. But it's some really sick, low self-esteem people out there that you're going to trigger. If you walk and they see what you have, they see that you're this confident, this person that just naturally gets attention, just a natural leader. You can't be around these type of people, family, because they have nothing to lose. They will take you down and feel better about themselves when you're trying to just kind of exist. You might not even be thinking on that time with them, but they're thinking that because you trigger their insecurities. So I know it's hard for people to think that way if they're not that way. But yes, people are out there like that. They'll take you and them down. It happens all the time. You see it in the media. You see people crossing lines and stepping and people that the very people you help. You could help them. I'm not going to say no names, but you see it in the rap. One rapper helps a rapper get contract, get a deal, and next thing you know, he's taking everything from them, robbing them blind, literally, because I'm pretty sure some signs, and he didn't check those disrespect. He didn't check it. He didn't gate it at the door, okay, or get away from that person, because there's nothing good going to happen. Someone doesn't have general respect for you, they're going to make you confront them. But it's how you confront them and timing when you confront them. Okay, so confrontation is good. The relationship is either going to evolve and grow or it's going to go away. But you don't want is a misunderstanding where that person thinks that you can be taken advantage of. Okay, because again, you have to sometimes put that foot down and let it be known you're not the one. You see, you got certain people in this world, family, that they are misleading. It doesn't matter if they have the big car. It doesn't matter if they have the big house. It doesn't matter if they have the big job, the money, the whatever. They walk with a light that everyone sees. Those individuals, you can call them chosen, you can call them special, you can call them whatever you want to call them, but they are targets naturally because that energy and the enemy just wants them. Try to get them, trick them out of their purpose. And don't get tricked out of your purpose by individuals that are walking and working for the other team. And that's what happens when you avoid the confrontation or you let certain things slide in the wrong company. That's what happens naturally because one is working for one team and one is working for the other. So that they're never going to win. You're going to win every time. It's just how you do it. You can avoid certain things if you gate it at the door. If you say, nah, let me let this person know right now before it gets bad. You want to be blessed to never put yourself in that situation, family. So that's what this video is about. It's about confrontation and understanding that it's positive at times. Being assertive and standing up for yourself, showing your boundaries, letting people know where you stand, what you'll go for and what you won't is not bad. Okay? And a lot of times, if you came up in a background or a household that was traumatic, you don't like that stuff. And I get it. You don't want to be around that. You don't want to be a part of it. But you have to be able to deal with it and handle it. You can't shy away from it. And this is even in the work world. Okay, this is in every aspect of life. Your family life, your relationships, intimate relationships, every aspect of life. You're going to have people test you. You're going to have people, especially if you're a certain type of individual, you're going to constantly trigger insecure people. They're just going to be triggered. You're not even thinking about them. You know, and they're thinking, oh, this person think they all that. You're not even on that level. You look at everybody the same. You're not even, but they are looking at you. And don't be good looking or attractive. Don't have any attractive qualities about you. That's really going to make them go through the roof, because they're going to come up with all these assumptions just off of physical presence. Have a powerful presence that commands attention. Could be tall, handsome, pretty lady, whatever, talented. But usually your physical aesthetics is definitely going to be a thing. As soon as they see that, they're going to come up with all sorts of, oh, who this person think they are. Male or female, it doesn't matter. Insecurities have no gender. I got to knock them down a notch. I can't let him or her know I'm looking at it. I can't make them think they better than me. They're not competing with you. They're not thinking about you at all. They might be thinking about what I'm making for dinner tonight. But understand, people that aren't confident naturally, or maybe they are confident, but it's very surface. It's based off of money. It's based off of something superficial, maybe even their looks. But they see someone, they feel naturally, oh, this person's competing with me. No, they're not. You can have your look, you can have your money, and I can have what I have, and we can both be happy. But they can't think like that. It can't be two sheriffs in town for them. So I always use the comparison of Michael Jackson, Prince. It's like Michael Jackson has his lane. To me, one of the great, if not the greatest entertainer ever. Okay, that just immediately the aura, the presence, the everything just illuminates the whole room. Prince, to me, one of the most talented, greatest musicians, artists, like actually playing all the instruments, can dance, sing, everything. Probably more than anyone. They have two different lanes, in my opinion. Okay, one can entertain you out the yin yang, and the other is more of a artist. Two different things, but both special. You can't compare human nature to Adore. You can't compare what else, Lady of My Life to Adore, to, Erotic City to, They Don't Like Us. What About Us? Or you get my point. Two different lanes, but both great. And you can have that in the world. It does exist. You don't have to be in competition with someone all the time. Be great at what you do and be comfortable with someone else being great. You can give them their props. They can give you yours. You guys could learn off each other. You can have healthy competition, but it should never get to the point where people want to be malicious. They want to be evil in their ways to hurt another just because someone has something special about them. And you can't, unfortunately, make someone confident. All you can do is recognize how to maneuver in these rooms when you are around people like that. So when you're around people like that, like I said, it's going to be trouble. It's going to be trouble. Hey, it's the truth. But like I said, you have some people who are very comfortable in their own skin. I'm in a bucket, but I'm riding it like it's a Benz. You got those kind of people that no matter what they have, shout out to Tupac, no matter what they have, they're they just exude power, and everyone around them can see it. And then you have that individual that can have it all, and inside they feel like they have nothing. You see the difference? So one could learn from the other, But oftentimes, the very thing that made that individual the way they are and go get them things is the very thing that the other person has or doesn't lack. So the other person doesn't need to compensate with all these worldly material things. They feel that way already. And they value maybe other things. So you get my point. People can march to two different beats, and it's okay. They both have the right to exist. But when the confrontation happens, that's usually when you are not on the same page. But for that person that is comfortable, you got to have that confrontation. Because that person might become your ally. Maybe they'll learn. Small chance, but they might. But at the least equation is that what will happen is they will actually at least be known. This is who you are. This is who I am. And you can decide where to go from there. Okay. So that's my video today, guys. Enjoy. Remember, check out Sprouting Crowns for consultations and description. Or also like, share, and subscribe. Peace. Love what you do. Do what you love.